the outside wall, sliding down the racetrack. Ricky does a nice job getting by on the outside. There's another view. That's David Starr, the black truck that was against the wall. He got into the 7 truck of Miguel Paludo, but I think exactly like we were talking about when we saw that contact earlier between the 30 truck of Ty Bodine and the 17 of Timothy Peters. I think that slowed the field down enough that then it was a chain reaction.
Saw Justin Lofton in the 77 truck spinning. He has had a heck of a day here at Darlington.
What an amazing day Justin Lofton has. That's number 4 now for Justin Lofton as far as going around. Stay with us. We'll get the restart in just a moment. Welcome back. Field 2x2 as they come out of turn number 4. We're going to try it again. Colwitt on the outside, Casey Kane on the inside. Preferred line around this racetrack, the top of the track. Green flag back in the air.
Single file is the preferred way around this racetrack.
Casey Kane stays on the inside of that 60 of Colwitt as they work through 1 and 2.
You get such a good run off of turn 2 when you're in the high side like Colwitt in the 60 truck that time.
Kane battling back on the inside as they go into turn 3. A little tighter down here in 3 and 4.
How about Colwitt able to squirt ahead from the outside?
Here comes Hornaday to the bottom of the racetrack trying to make the move. He makes it 3 wide at the stripe.
It better be about 1 wide by the time they get to turn 1.
Yeah, they better get that figured out by the time they get down to the other end.
It was sorted out. Now Matt Crafton looks to the inside of Ron Hornaday as those two battle for the 5th position.
You know, Larry, normally this racetrack is give and take. It looks like these guys are racing with 10 laps to go already.
I think it goes back to what we talked about earlier. They know it's a short race, 147 laps, 200 miles.
Elliott Sadler driving the 2 this week for Kevin Harvick Incorporated.
Timothy Peters making the pass on Parker Kligerman. That moves Timothy up into the top 10.
We saw earlier that incident. Timothy Peters actually got into the back of the 30. Oh, sideways goes the 10. And Chase Mattioli will bring out caution number 2. Matter of fact, he goes to the bottom of the racetrack, and so the caution doesn't come out. Again, the high line around this racetrack is where you will see most of the trucks run, so he is out of the racing groove.
Look at all that asphalt down there. It looks like it's wide, right? Not all of that's raceable, but certainly if the trucks are down there, they're out of the way.
So Chase Mattioli is sideways. He's slow on the back stretch, trying to make it back onto pit road, and they continue to race by him. Colwitt out in front of Casey Kane.
Casey Kane in that 18 truck, he's starting to reel Witt in that 60 truck just a little bit.
How impressive has Colwitt been, though, Larry?
Only his 4th start in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
And never been here. He's one of the 16 that has never been here.
Those two stay nose to tail as they go down the backstretch. Colwitt just in front of Casey Kane, separated by less than 0.2 of a second.
Casey was the quickest truck that last lap, as you can see him reel in the 60 of Colwitt.
You know, this is the first time Colwitt has led a lap in the Camping World Truck Series.
Did it at Darlington.
And he's doing it at one of the toughest that the Truck Series goes to.
And holding his own right there. There's a good battle for the 9th position. Jason White, the 23 truck. Timothy Peters sat on the pole here last year and finished 2nd in this race.
Now he's looking to get that position. He goes to the inside as they go down the backstretch and into 3.
Good move early on so far for the 17 of Timothy Peters.
Is that where you have to pass? Is that a textbook pass coming out of either 2 or 4?
That's where you start the pass. That's where you start setting them up, and then you take the entire length of the straightaway and you try to complete the pass entering the next corner.
And that's where the give and take is. If you make a run on somebody, you pull up beside them, you get down to the next corner, they really should give way here and let you have the corner getting in.
Good run by the 51 of Justin Johnson trying to reel in that 4 of Ricky Carmichael.
62 of Brendan Gaughan. That South Point Toyota leads that pack. He's running 13th right now.
And Brendan Gaughan, that 62 truck, he's one of a few drivers comes in here. They've dug themselves a little bit of a hole in the points even after 2 races. Brendan comes in here 19th in the points.
Currently running 13th on the racetrack. He's got Ricky Carmichael all over his back bumper, though. Bottom of the racetrack.
We're 13 laps into this race, and we've got caution.
Caution comes out into the wall in turns 3 and 4. Now just coming off of the wall, making the hard left turn is the 32. That is Brad Sweet. So Sweet got up into the wall in turns 3 and 4. You see the damage to the right side of that truck.
Remember, Larry, you talked about his qualifying problem, spinning out on lap number 2, but pretty significant contact there for the Grape Clips Chevrolet out of the Turner Motorsports stable.
Yeah, he hit it with both ends, and there's going to be, I think, some substantial suspension damage there on that 32 truck.
Just got a little bit loose, got sideways, had to chase it up the hill. A lot of times you can get away with that if you have a 60-foot wide racetrack, but not here on this 30-foot wide Darlington.
Riding with Matt Crafton here in the 88 truck, I think you'll be able to look ahead of him.
That was another truck that actually got the Darlington stripe.
That's not unusual at Darlington. You'll have them getting stripes 2 or 3 at a time.
This track is giving them out. Well, I'm sure they're going to be giving them out by the dozens before this one's done. Brad Sweet into the wall. Welcome back. Too Tough to Tame 200 on speed from Darlington Raceway. Now, once again on this restart, we see Cole Witt. The leader of the race gets to choose if they want the inside or outside line. He chooses outside once again.
I like that call here because, number one, he's the one that's going to restart this race. The leader restarts this race. But how about Justin Lofton here? Talk about a bad day. This is practice earlier on this morning. You see him spin.
That's
this was about 10 minutes into the first practice this morning.
And then this is final practice. Up into the outside wall, scrapes it along.
Quite as lucky that time as he was earlier.
And guys, just now on pit road, you see Norm Benning finishing up his pit work, our lucky dog. He's going to get done. He's going to pull out. Just go ahead, Norm. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Justin.
And don't forget, he was actually involved in that first caution back on lap 1 as well.
Tough day for the 77. Green flag back in the air. Great restart for Cole Witt.
Look at everybody fight to get up to the top of the racetrack.
Now a battle for second. James Busher on the outside of that 18. But Casey Kane takes the second spot. Busher drops back to third.
You know, right before that last caution, I'd watched the scoring monitor. Casey Kane, his 13th lap was faster than the old track record. I think he's just sitting back there kind of waiting on that young 18-year-old Cole Witt to possibly make a mistake.
He hasn't made many mistakes
so
far today.
No, he has not.
Field stretches out as they make their way back into 1. You see Timothy Peters on the inside of that 3 of Austin Dillon. He slides in front.
I'll tell you, that truck of Timothy Peters is on the move now. We talk about this racetrack being pretty tough to pass on. Timothy Peters has made some nice passes.
13, 33, and 88. 3 Chevrolets nose to tail here. Sauter, Hornaday, and Crafton.
Right now we have 1 Toyota running in the top 8. That's obviously Casey Kane in second. The rest of them, all Chevrolets.
Casey Kane in the 18 is just a little quicker than Cole Witt in that 60. I think he's just trying to find out where can I start the pass and complete the pass.
Is it too early? I mean, you mentioned earlier biding his time. Does he ride around behind Cole Witt and let Cole Witt set the pace here at the track?
How about this side-by-side battle and a little contact between Hornaday and Sauter? That's a battle for
no
fourth.
love lost between these two, by the way. Ron Hornaday takes the pass from Johnny Sauter in Kansas. Remember, Johnny Sauter was leading. Hornaday got into him. They did a simultaneous slide, and it ended up being Sauter and then Hornaday 1 and 2 at Kansas.
There comes Elliott Sadler, though, in that 2 truck. While these guys have been battling, he's starting to come into this picture here.
Teammates going side by side. Crafton on the inside of Johnny Sauter.
Johnny was really slow through the center of the corner there.
Let's go down to Herming.
Yeah, you guys just saw Ron Hornaday take the 4th position on the racetrack. They did not pit, as did any of the leaders on the last caution. Hornaday only saying right now that his truck has been loose and complaining a little bit about not being able to see because of the sunlight. Also, you see Todd Bodine making his way back through the pack. Caution before last, he came to pit road for 4 tires, had a vibration. So to be on the safe side, Mike Hillman Jr. put 4 tires on the 30 truck, Ray.
And Hermie, the guys were talking about Timothy Peters making some moves. Peters had some trouble in practice earlier today. They found out that they had a lower control arm that was bent, and whenever it was bent, it was giving him false information about what the truck was doing. Once they made that change, they had to start completely from scratch. It was almost like two very separate practices. So Timothy Peters said he really likes the way his truck is coming off the corner, and it has great forward bite.
You know,
moving forward, too.
I want to go back to that 30 truck of Todd Bodine that Hermie was just reporting on. He has picked up about 20-something positions since that last restart. In fact, he just made it back into the top 10 with this 30 truck, and I've been watching his lap times. With the exception of traffic, he's got about the third quickest truck right now.
Problem on the backstretch is Brendan Gaughan going around in the 62, and that will bring out our third caution.
I'm not sure he made any contact with anything. Brendan gets the truck refired. Will remain on the lead lap.
Down the backstretch, Brendan Gaughan was sideways, throwing up a lot of smoke. But as you mentioned, Phil, it doesn't look like any damage to the truck.
You know, Larry, we're 25 laps in right now to this race. These guys can go about 55 laps, somewhere in that range. If you come in now, they could make this a one more stop race if you stretch it a little bit.
Here's Carmichael riding just behind that 62 as they come out of turn number 2.
Brendan just makes a little contact with a 23 at Jason White, and I think he just yanked the steering wheel left to keep him spinning out of Jason White. Does a nice job keeping that truck out of the inside wall.
You talked about how narrow this place is, Phil. It's not very often, and we saw it with Brad Sweet, the 32 truck qualifying, that you can spin out here on the exit of the corner and not hit either the outside wall, the inside, or even both.
You know, one of the other things, a factor that's going to be coming into play and potentially came into play a little bit with Brendan Gaughan is the sun. When they come out of turn number 2, that sun is getting low enough now that it's going to be right in their eyes.
Yeah, we're going to have to be dealing with that for quite a number of more laps.
Guys up on the wall getting ready for the trucks to make their way onto pit road.
That's the Casey Kane team of Kyle Busch Motorsports right there. Again, we've completed 26 laps. That'll be 27. That'll leave 120 laps. We know the pit window somewhere between 54 and 58 with a couple caution laps thrown in. These guys may be able to do this on one stop from stopping right here.
Rick, there's the sun you're talking about as we ride with Timothy Peters in the 17 truck. And of course, this is up on the roof, but this is still basically what the driver is dealing with right now.
Yeah, look at the shield of Carmichael, that reflection off of there. That's what he's got to deal with.
And most of these drivers had to prepare themselves for this race finishing at night under the lights. That's the reason we see a lot of clear shields.
And here comes the field onto pit road. And it looks as though all the trucks are making their way down pit road, Herbie.
Yeah, Ron Hornaday is in the top 5. He's bringing the 33 truck down to pit road a little bit free right now. But the biggest concern is get a tear off this windshield, having a hard time seeing. 4 tires and an air pressure adjustment for Ron Hornaday. Ray?
You know, same thing down here, Hermie. Lots of people saying the visibility is absolutely terrible on the racetrack. Big conversation between Eric Phillips and Casey Kane. What should we do here? Kane said, I've got to have some tires. Let's do it. Let's put tires on this thing and see if it brings it to life. They go with fuel coming around. They'll do 4 for sure. The Red Bull Toyota is in, Chevrolet, is in at the front. Casey Kane will be ready to come out of his pit. It looks like Elliott Sadler and the 3 both got away early. The 18 will be 3rd off pit road, and the 60 losing multiple positions here, about 10 spots. Cole Witt came in the leader. He'll go out 12.
Boy, the real winner, Austin Dillon in that 3 truck. Gained 7 spots.
Also up front will be Elliott Sadler coming off in the 2 truck. So Elliott Sadler and Austin Dillon look to be the ones who were first off of pit road. When we come back, the green flag once again. Monday night, you can't miss the hub. Elliott Sadler, who's currently leading this race, joins Steve Burns to discuss all the action from the truck race in Darlington. Plus, we'll give you the ultimate setup heading into Bristol. NASCAR Race Hub, Monday night, 7 Eastern, only on Speed.
Larry Mack, you think on the old Darlington that we would have ever seen somebody change 2 tires?
Absolutely not, but that looks like what Elliott Sadler in that 2 truck did, and Austin Dillon. Not a bad call, but you know, as we see Chas Mattioli that got the Aaron's lucky dog on this 3rd caution, because we'd run 24 laps, but A third of those laps had been under caution, 8 of them.
Ray, what happened on pit road?
Well, just exactly what Larry was saying. These guys gambled on a 2-tire stop basically because the position they were in. The track position is so important. Elliott Sadler says, give me 2 this time.